Let's turn to the Durham probe. The special counsel filing a flurry of motions this week in a back and forth with Michael Sussman's legal team. Sussman's accused of lying to the FBI when he shared information that allegedly established a connection between a Russian bank and Donald Trump. Check out this text that he sent to FBI General Counsel Jim Baker saying, "I'm coming on my own, not on behalf of a client or company. Want to help the Bureau." And now we know he was working on behalf of the Clinton campaign. Joining us now is former U.S. Attorney Joe DiGenova and former Chief Counsel to the Senate Intelligence Committee, Victoria Toensing. Thank you both for being here.
Great to be with you.
Oh, it's great to have you both on.
Oh, man. Sussman's legal team really has their work cut out for them.
Well, absolutely, because what John Durham is doing after the long march of the grand jury is showing that there was a vast conspiracy. He calls it a joint venture as well as a conspiracy by a number of people, all of whom are now well known to the American people, to destroy Donald Trump as a candidate and then to destroy him as a president and to try to have him the subject of criminal investigations. It is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, scandal in the history of American government.
And what's interesting, when Durham first put out the one-count indictment against Michael Sussman, he didn't show that he had that email. And Sussman's people put out, well, you know, maybe memories varied, nobody knows, who cares, maybe we didn't take the notes right. And then voila, in that motion, Durham says, hey, here it is in writing. You said it. That's got him pretty solid. Now the only thing he can argue is whether the statement was material to the investigation.
Yeah, and these names, I think you make a great point. These are household names now, which is just, it shows you where we are with this case and sort of what's gone on over the last several years. What do you make of that?
Well, what's happened is it has blended into the fiber of America. No matter how much the mainstream media wanted to ignore the Hunter Biden laptop and everything about it, what happened with President Trump and candidate Trump is a disgrace. And it's a disgrace because people like Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party, Mark Elias, Fusion GPS, Michael Sussman, all of these people decided that they were going to destroy a presidential candidate and then destroy a president of the United States. The American people understand this now, and it's going to have a price paid by the Democrats over the next 5 to 6 years.
But then this destruction of Trump was followed by protection of Joe Biden,
yes,
where everything was suppressed. And even today, I disagree with the people that say, oh, well, the Washington Post and New York Times says, oh, it's okay now to talk about it. No, they don't. They just say Hunter was a bad boy, but nothing affected Joe. We could find no evidence, said the Washington Post, that Joe Biden was included in any way in this. Oh, who's the big guy?
Right. You know, it's funny that the Russian collusion scandal was reported breathlessly by the media practically every second of every day for years. And you never see a real apology for getting this and so many other stories so wrong. There was a college freshman this week that called out Brian Stelter. Listen to his response. This is great.
All the mistakes of the mainstream media and CNN in particular seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch. I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN.
You know, that response, it's time for lunch, that says it all. I mean, the media just wants to walk away like this never happened, just like Joe Biden in Afghanistan.
Right.
Well, even though Mr. Stelter says it's time for lunch, what's clear is that he's out to lunch. Yeah. The bottom line is that the American mainstream media is totally corrupt and unreliable. They no longer serve the purposes for which the First Amendment intended freedom of the press to be used. They have destroyed freedom of the press by becoming part of a political party and losing all of their integrity and their honesty. And the American people have seen through it. And
in that same panel, Ann Applebaum sat there and with great hoity-toity voice said, well, I just didn't find the Hunter laptop thing interesting.
I don't think there could be anything less. This is the most interesting political story, maybe ever. It has everything. Look at this photograph. It's got everything. Think about the hard time
Imagine
they gave.
if that was a Trump.
Well, I mean,
right?
imagine if it was any child of a Republican politician.
Oh, exactly.
You know, I remember Donald Trump Jr. went on a African safari, okay, and went hunting legally with permits, and the media couldn't get enough of giving him a hard time about that. Something he was doing legally. And now we're talking about strippers, Hollywood hotels, cocaine, illegal drugs. Joe Biden's brother, Joe Biden himself, maybe Hunter Biden. It's got everything.
It does.
This is the American scandal. It has everything. This is Teapot Dome, Watergate, you name it. It's got everything. Lewinsky, all of the scandals blend into one, and it's called the Biden crime family.
All right, Joe DiGenova.
Joe grew up with them in Wilmington, Delaware. He knows them.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Victoria
both.
Toensing, good to have you both on again. Thank you.